Ich weiß nicht, wollen wir... Das sieht nach so einem riesigen Raum aus. Ist der wirklich so riesig? Oder wirkt er nur so? Können wir mal reinschauen. Vogelhaus. Okay, das erklärt einiges. Wenn die hier ein fucking Vogelhaus haben. Hat die Flügel? Bist du ein Orni? Was ist da los? Okay.
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Das sieht böse aus. Schon, ja, wirklich.
Wow, judgmental.
A rather magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
Mhm.
And a little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle. They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
Totally is.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
Ah.
bird diagrams. Hand painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
Am Boden was
I feel
machen?
like I'm standing in a giant bird cage.
Ja, schon irgendwie. Spiegel?
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Oh, damn. Da muss ich gerade dann denken, dass das in einer Serie, die ich heute angefangen habe, die ganz neu auf Netflix ist, dass es da irgendwie drum ging, dass Fotos, also jemanden zu fotografieren, dass das irgendwie die Seele festhält. Bleihaare einfach, ja. Nämlich dieses, wie heißt es denn? Netflix. Ich bin bisher voll begeistert. Dead End. Paranormal Park. Ist eine Cartoon-Serie. Ist voll wie Gravity Falls, finde ich. Also hat bei mir bisher so, gibt mir voll Gravity Falls Vibes. Und der Hauptcharakter ist einfach mal ein Trans-Junge. Und das ist so cool. Und das ist allgemein auch voll queer und divers. Und it's so cute. Ich lieb's bisher. I like. Und ich kann es empfehlen. Ich habe, glaube ich, 5 Folgen oder so bisher angeschaut. Es gibt 10 Folgen. Also, ja. Ich finde es sehr nice und kann es wirklich nur empfehlen. Vielleicht habe ich keine Seele, weil ich zu viele Selfies gemacht habe im Leben. Mhm. Im Chat, Dead End Park, glaube ich. War das so? Ich glaube. Dead End Paranormal Park. Ja, genau. Jetzt voll cute. Genau. Okay. Aber jetzt spielen wir hier weiter.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage.
Hatten wir schon. Mal mit den Vögeln
They're
irgendwie.
bird cages, but the birds.
that
Oh,
right?
it totally is.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Okay. Damn. Ich meine, die sind schon cute. Aber können diese 3 Vögel hier wirklich so gut miteinander auf so engen Raum? Ja, reden wir mal mit ihr. Die hat einen Vogel auf dem Kopf.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Das sieht wirklich so aus, als hätte die Flügel.
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your
Jetzt über die
hair,
Haare.
dear. Which shade do you use? It's lovely. And that shape. You're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Ich fände, Penelope würde irgendwie besser passen, weil die wirkt halt auch so. Ja, I don't know. Transparent mit blauem Decker. Ja, was sonst? Was sonst? Alles voll süß. Ich mag's bisher. Ja gut.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Oh.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz.
Oh. Oh. Das macht diese Bilder mit... Shira. How dare she? Ja, das macht... Das... Ich dachte ja, dass das Poppy da irgendwie... Weil es gibt ja auch diese Bilder mit Poppy und Fitz. Damn. Okay, ich bin sehr gespannt, wie das hier weitergeht.
He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz Fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
Ich komme schon wieder nicht mit, wer mit wem verwandt ist. Damn.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Damn. Okay, warte mal.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now,
Okay,
like
später.
right now.
Nein, ich will noch mal kurz hier reinschauen. Warte, Penny. Penny Pointer. Verlobter. Okay, die... Okay, das wissen wir noch nicht, wie die Beziehung zu den anderen ist. Schade, damn. Penny irgendwie verdächtig? Okay, dann müssen wir erstmal noch weiter mit ihr reden, vielleicht. Der Vortrag,
I
erzähl
woke
mal.
early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. but I think they just like the company,
Okay.
as do I.
Ja.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Was für eine lesbische Vampirserie. Erzähl mal, wie du zu... Oder erzähl mal erstmal was über dich selbst.
Oh, she's beautiful! Who is she? Wait, is that me?
Oh, come on.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
First Kill. Davon habe ich auch schon gehört. Keine Ahnung. Das ist auch so eine Serie, die alle irgendwie anschauen. Okay, jetzt hier mal über
Isn't he
Fitz.
strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
Wie ist deine Meinung zu Poppy?
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's
Uh-oh.
a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Okay. I don't like this. Poppy ist mir lieber. Aber, weiß nicht, Penny ist so eine weirde Person irgendwie. Einfach alle Charaktere hier sind so cool. Als ob wir so viel Auswahl hätten mit queeren Medien. Ja, okay, das stimmt.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, I mean, well, you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do
Yeah.
admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Ja, ich sehe auch nicht so ganz, was Felix und Flora gemeinsam haben. In irgendeiner Weise. Na gut.
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow.
Die sieht
I
voll
just
cool
wish
aus.
Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his
Ah.
responsibility. Did you not know that?
Not yet? Nein. Was sagt diesem Buch? Schauen wir mal. Vogelbuch.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Oh no.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one
Okay.
on your head?
On my head?
Ja.
It's just my hat. It doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Oh, die ist so weird. Ich lieb's.
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent. Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
Ja. Okay. Ja gut, da kommt wahrscheinlich der Feud.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Oh Gott.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian. Had her own priorities. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
Schon ein bisschen.
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
Ja. Der hat Tintenklecks.
I don't know what that is. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too. I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Oh, that's rather sad. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling, don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her.
Ja, schon irgendwie.
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
I mean...
It's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. Also ich finde sie im Kontext dieses Spiels schon cool. Persönlich wäre sie mir zu anstrengend, aber so ist es schon ganz lustig. So Leute, wir haben noch so viel Zeug hier. Ich glaube, ich packe das jetzt auch gar nicht mehr so viel anderes. Boah, ich wollte auch gar nicht so lange streamen. Und Plan war eigentlich so eine Stunde ungefähr zu streamen und es ist doch schon so lang geworden. Ja gut. Ich glaube, ich werde jetzt hier an der Stelle einfach aufhören. Leute. Weil ich will jetzt nicht in den Raum gehen und den Galerie. Oh. Oh. Schaut mal. Schaut mal. Ach nein, wieder falsch. Irgendwie könnte ich es mit dem mal knuddeln. Gleich schauen. Wieso? Hat er wieder was gemacht? Schau mal, wenn ich hier Einstellungen reingehe, dann kann man in die Galerie schauen. Catherine? I don't know, da kann man sich so Zeug anschauen. Ist das von den Machern, was die dazu sagen? Einfach so, oh, ich liebe sowas. Adam. Entwurf von Adam, ja. Okay. Aber es gibt auch hier noch so verschiedene... Nice. Ui, das wäre auch cool gewesen. Ich da zu den so, wie heißt denn das, Concept Arts so anschauen kann. Gerade eben entdeckt. Das finde ich cool. Aber ich wollte nicht ganz raus. Wieso ich... Was anderes geht doch nicht. Hinweise? Ah, okay. Warte. Ah. Das ist schon alles cool. Schon alles sehr cool. Ja, es fehlt nur noch ein Charakter. Bin ich sehr gespannt, wie der andere Penny Pointer, Poppy Pointer. Sind die jetzt doch irgendwie mit... Okay, I'm confused. Sind die jetzt doch miteinander verwandt? Okay, wisst ihr was? Ich schaue noch mal hier rein, weil jetzt kenne ich die Namen ja so einigermaßen.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Oh Gott. Nicht niesen. So, wir haben...
Pretty.
Ups, das war die nicht. Fiona. Das ist Fifi, genau. Das ist die von Flora und Felix. Ah, Felix und Flint sind dann Brüder. Felix hat Emily Arrowstone geheiratet und damit Fitz vorgebracht. Ah, und Freya ist nochmal weiter weg. Okay. Hier Flora, Primrose, Richard. Richard hat anscheinend keine Kinder. Primrose hat Poppy. Primrose hat Percival Pointer heiratet. Von ihm Pandora Pointer. Ach, das ist beides mit P. Ah, die fangen alle mit P an. Verstehe. Ach, Percival, den finden wir wahrscheinlich noch, oder? Das ist, glaube ich, der andere Penelope Pointer. Interessant. Okay. Heißt, die beiden sind Cousinen, aber haben beide was mit dem Fitz oder so. Ich verstehe es nicht so ganz. Werden das auf jeden Fall noch herausfinden, denke ich mal. Aber erst beim nächsten Mal.